It was some
We
very
also like to
important
thank you for
color
being
commentary.
sponsored by Ethan's Donuts today. Thank you so much, Ethan's Donuts. We have some free donuts here passing out to the players.
Yes, thank you to Ethan and his donuts.
So what have been your Frisbee endeavors in the past couple years, Stephen?
Sorry?
What have been your Frisbee endeavors in the past few years since your absence from Hillsdale?
I have actually, I don't think I've thrown a Frisbee until, since I left Hillsdale.
Oh no!
If you can believe that. I know. It's tragic. I've focused a lot of weightlifting, but other than that, school is at Hillsdale, school and Frisbee can coexist, and other places they don't have that. They have their priorities bent, as Dobb would have said back in the day. And,
sure.
You know, we need a societal unbending of those priorities.
Sure.
But I would love to get back into it, especially watching you guys grow to the team that you've become. I mean, when I first started at Hillsdale, I was on the first travel team, and it was basically glorified pickup. It was more or less backyard ultimate Frisbee with Seb blowing his top the occasional 5 minutes because it was backyard ultimate Frisbee.
Yeah. I think that's a pretty accurate description of what it came from. It's actually been really incredible to see how it's grown, especially with this new freshman class. We've had 20 plus people at practices consistently these past 3 weeks, which has never happened before in the history of our ultimate team. So a lot of opportunity for growth. A lot of these players have been really excited to learn about the sport. A lot of them are really excited about showing up to the tournaments and the games, trying to play, learning how to play well. There's a lot of hope in the future for our team. I really hope that these players stick with it, continue learning. They've been doing a great job today. It's been showing very well.
Are you unironically telling me that Greg can be a motivational leader? Is that what you're seriously trying to convey to me here, Eva? I can't believe it.
He has grown a lot since he left. Even I know it's hard to believe. He is our president this year. Gabe is our captain. Both of them have doing a really wonderful job getting us into tournaments, coaching us well through it. It's hard, especially when it's just them two. Nick Akers has come out and helped coach us for some of those tournaments, which has been a huge help to them, helping make, especially when it comes to subbing people in and out, figuring out the offensive and defensive strategies we think would work. He's been hugely helpful, but Greg and Gabe have done a really good job leading the team, helping get all of these new players interested and excited about the sport. But yes, Steven, he has been doing quite well these past few years.
I mean, I see the action in the chat, and it's like it's a separate three credit course. So, you know, I'm proud of you guys for taking that on, and glad to see what you guys have done. What do you think has been the single biggest change since Greg and Gabe took over the team?
I think one of the biggest changes, would be our offensive strategy. That's changed a lot. I think one of the reasons they have really liked doing that is because in our new offensive strategy, since there isn't a handler position necessarily, every person on the field has an opportunity to get open, get the disc, and throw. And so, unlike when I first started out playing on the team, we'd be playing post stack. I was put on the wing position, and typically that meant I wasn't really doing anything, and so I didn't get a lot of time getting open, getting the disc, having experience, taking care of it, throwing it well, working with the team. And since we've switched to this new strategy, a lot of our players have been getting better faster because they have so many more opportunities to play and to be active on the field. It keeps them engaged. It keeps them looking for opportunities to get open, also to clear out of spaces, helping other people get the disc. So I think that has been one of the biggest changes helping every single player to have more play time, have more experience. And yeah, because of that, the average level of our players has been slowly increasing because all of us are getting that play time. That's been wonderful. Really awesome to be playing on a team that focuses on every player.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that, and I totally hear you about getting stuck out on the wings. You know, back in the day during that old host stack play, you get stuck out on the wings, and you'd be like, come on. You gonna sell me? You gonna send me to Siberia next? You might as well bench me. I'm done.
It's true. Yeah, it definitely seemed like they'd be playing a 3-person game with 7 people on the field. But that has changed a lot, and it's helped team morale, helped team spirit. So it's been an awesome change. I've been really happy to see that. But yeah, I'd say that has been the biggest change since in these past couple of years with Greg and Gabe leading the team.
Looks like they just did their little circle up thing. Gabe's doing his pre-pole therapy session.
His motivational speech.
Yep. And it looks like we got someone out there without a jersey. That's just tragic, man.
Greg hasn't quite ordered the jerseys yet. It's a project he has on his plate. Yeah, we're still very early into the season. I mean, this is like our 4th week of school. So it's our 4th week since a lot of these new players have even played for the first time and scrimmaging with a team that's been trying to be competitive. So yeah, we're very, very early on. No jerseys yet, but all these players have been doing really well.
That is really something to hear. That this is week 4 for some of these people. That's really impressive, and they're already gelling so coherently as a team. I mean, no matter what game it is, you don't get to 8-0 without gelling, and that really speaks to team leadership and also just team enthusiasm. So really great to see that.
Yeah, no, it's been working wonders. I think we've been going into this next point. Looks like there's a lot. Greg's out there helping them out, but it's like this might be a full lineup with all new players. I think at this point, they're just trying to get them used to working on their own, being more independent, not relying as much on the experienced players. So we'll see how this next point goes. It might be a little harder to get through everything, but if all of them keep on cutting and throwing consistently, hopefully this will be a really great learning experience for them. They'll be able to get some more scores.
And we got a poll, and here we go. Second half is kicking off now. And once again, this is Stephen Pearson broadcasting live from your mom's basement in Hell on Earth, otherwise known as Phoenix, Arizona. And again, great to be back with you guys. You guys better be paying attention, otherwise we will come find you.
Okay, well, we had a turn on this and a throw deep.
Nice catch!
We're good bit for the dance play, so we'll keep on.
Such a bummer. That's one of those moments where the idea is great and the execution is just off by a little bit. But in Frisbee, you might think that you have that extra room because of the glide, but sometimes you just don't have that much. So we have a turn. We're walking our way back up the field. But
looks like we have another.
That this works.
And that's just, they're not quite in yet. That's a score for the MSU team. Good job to them.
And that is a point. I will have to talk to Greg and Gabe later about this, but for right now, legally speaking, I have to say good job, MSU. So we see here on the instant replay, a nice up, and then straight into the end zone. Not really with much resistance either, which is interesting.
Yeah, that was a lineup of all new players. They're still trying to learn how to defend well, how to trail, how to stay on their defenders well. That was a bit of a rough point for them. Hopefully they'll be able to continue learning There might have been a lot of nerves on that one, especially when you're sent out on your own trying to figure out how to do it. They did. Hopefully they are able to pull it together a little bit more, but this is a really great experience for them. Hopefully they continue working hard at this. If they could get a point with all new players, that would be huge for the Hillsdale team.
And I think, too, it's not necessarily the worst thing if you have a hiccup, because in practice, the ideal is to be perfect, but on the field during a game, you have this another added element, which is trying to capitalize off the mistakes of the other team, no matter who you're playing. And so it's almost a completely different theoretical framework that Hillsdale is having to implement here on the fly. It's not something that you can really practice, and yet it's something that's absolutely essential to making the point.
True. Yeah, and that's something, especially if you're a new player, that's really hard to learn. To get used to is adapting to how the defense is changing and defending you. That's a skill they'll have to learn, and this is a really great time for them to learn, especially in the preseason.
Got a break dance and a hammer, and over the top of both the defender and the offender. We have a turn. Hillsdale has got another chance to make a 9th point. Starting to get dark out there.
We got the lights on, playing on the left, so it's a good time. Well, another point for the MSU team.
This is interesting because are they sending out? Are they trying a different configuration, Eva? Because usually, if you have 8 points and then 2 points in a row for the other team, something is changing.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just with all new players, and they're trying to, because with all of these other points in the squad, they've had Greg or Dave or some of the other experienced handlers out there. So I think some of the issues that we were seeing on that last point with the Hillsdale team is that he was really cutting in very well, not really getting enough space to help out the person with the disc. So I don't think that the defensive configuration was changing. I think they were just having a hard time being able to execute that well. It's something they were going to have to learn. That I think some of the experienced players in the first half of this game were able to do for them in a way. So they're just having to learn how to play hex well. And learn how to be there for their teammates and keep the disc moving. But yeah, I don't think the formation was really changing. If that's what you're asking.
Okay, that's interesting. I also noticed that there wasn't quite as quick of a response to MSU's disc movement, which on this last point, I was noticing was fairly quick. And if you start letting that to happen, I remember back from my days, if you start letting that disc move more quickly than you can keep up, that's almost guaranteed to end up in a point for the other team as long as they don't flub it.
Yeah. Yep. And these are the things I think some of those newer players are having to get a hold of, is trying to stop that quick movement, that momentum that the other team can build. That's just something that they're going to have to keep on working on, learning how to recognize and trying to stop that.
Oh, interesting. We have an interception there.
Good defense.
Okay. Looks like Hillsdale's running a man defense now. That used to be out of style, but not anymore, I guess. The hard thing with the man defense is it's inherently reactive. We never quite have the chance to get ahead of the game, which is kind of the MO of a zone defense. The issue with zone defense is, in a lot of cases, can be less precise, and you're intentionally leaving players open, which is risky.
Yes, and typically the zone is better, especially if you have windy conditions trying to force side. But right now, when it's really hard to do these one-on-one matchups, you have to rely on your own skill and just being reactive, being quick, thinking on your feet. Which is hard to do as a new player, but they've been doing a good job. They've been having some great movement up the field this point. This has been a lot better than the last couple. Ladies are working smoothly, helping with oh, there's a turn and a hot deep.
We got another turn. And the disc out-steedied the player. That is tough.
You know, even if it wasn't intentional, I think the MSU team, I mean, if they can get it huck deep, even if they don't get it, we have to start all the way at the back. So if we make a mistake, they're much closer to their end zone than they were before.
It's almost like a punt in football. If you really have no other choice, there is some strategic advantage to chucking the disc just as far away as you can. I remember this from my prestigious career backyard ultimate. I did it all the time.
It can be used to your advantage. It's like they're taking their time, getting set up.
All right, and we're in.
Oh wow, that was a really good break throw. Good job.
And some really ancient here.
That's a bit of a misstep throw. Over to the top.
And another irresponsible huck. I'm gonna have to break out the shots just in general for great high-risk hucks.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those this game. Some of them have been successful. Some of them have not been.
All right, Hillsdale still looking for its first point of the second half. I will have a word with Greg and Gabe after this is over.
MSU is calling a timeout. I think that was a good call for them. They're about maybe 10 yards away from the end zone if they can figure out how to get a good formation going in a game plan once they get brought back in. I think their goal is to get a quick score.
You know, I'm always looking for those quick scores in life. They're really hard to get, though. But when you land those quick scores, All right, looks like we have a whole lot of nothing going on the field. It's like soccer.
I just want to, before we get going again, I just want to make another shout out to Ethan's Donuts. Thank you so much for sponsoring this game. We really appreciate everything, all of our sponsors making it possible for us to be able to play, show up to tournaments, buy jerseys, supply discs for practices, all of that. All the help we can get is we're very grateful for. So thank you to Ethan's Donuts again.
Yes, huge thank you to Ethan and his donuts.
I think especially with the Hillsdale team, Gabe's trying to coach them through being really intentional about being really strong with their defense. Something else that has been really important that it's been hard, I think, for some of the newer players to learn is how to handle a force, especially with whoever has the disc, they might force home or away, and the rest of the players have to work around that. That's hugely helpful in learning how to set up a defense. It's hard to learn and hard to get the skill of, but that might have been something that Gabe was trying to coach them through right there.
It looks like we're ready to get started here. I'm keeping an eye on the YouTube chat, and I think the single most repeated word is Ben. So Ben, whoever you are very popular, and I wish I could be you.
MSU made a quick score right there. I think it was a good call.
Wow,
they had that timeout. We were able to make a quick turnaround.
And it's a single throw. Interesting.
best to be efficient. If there's someone open, they were able to get it to them quickly. The more efficient, the better. They were open, and they were able to get it to him and get that score.
Really efficient play. Also rather simple. It was not a 4D chess level play. It was a simple in cut from the back of the end zone. At least that's what I could see. So Hillsdale will have to keep an eye on those. Really prevent those easy plays. Looking at you, Greg, with a beard. Is that a beard, Greg?
He has been growing a beard. Sporting a beard recently.
I'll have to talk to him about that. I'll write that one down too. So, terrible second half. Beard?
You can sum up the half of the board.
All right, Hillsdale still looking for that first second half point. I firmly believe it'll happen. If not, we can always fall back on the. If not, we can always fall back on the oft-repeated mantra at Hillsdale Athletics that, well, at least our teammates know how to read.
True. Looks like they have their more experienced players on the field again, making better deep throws. And there's their next throw for Hillsdale Ultimate.
And there it is. I think I saw Rob Sutton take a hand in that point. Nice good pass down the field. Now, Rob, we were mentioning how our teammates know how to read. Not Rob knows extra how to read.
That actually wasn't Rob. That was Jake Hamilton's younger brother, Ben.
Is there another super tall guy?
He's also very tall. Yes, he's also tall guy.
I thought there was a prohibition on having more than one super tall guy on the team, but I guess not.
We have worked past that. It's the ultimate. Hang on, Ben has been a really huge help, making good, accurate deep throws.
Yeah.
Hey guys, split sidelines.
We had Nick Akers succeeded by Rob, and now it looks like we have a second super tall guy in the same team. So that's great.
Yes, we've been increasing our height as a team, which has been very helpful. I know that will be a huge help, especially against. We are on average a short team, and that has been scary. I know, especially going to the team. A lot of other teams, especially who play D3 men, we play as the Knicks, so that's always really difficult, especially with some of the better teams that have a long tall guy. Sometimes it's hard to go up against that. So we're always grateful for another tall guy.
Yeah. I guess as an aside, I feel like Lance, aka Captain Cargo Shorts. Lance has got a beard too. I fully support the cargo shorts, man, but the beard, man. I don't know about that. I think halftime should have been a good time to shave.
For his friend's sake, he looks too young without it, so he's opted to keep it.
Oh, fair enough, I guess. It slows you down, though. You're not as aerodynamic.
True. I don't think those cargo shorts are helping either, but he's playing through it.
No, but he probably keeps the extra crispy just in case. All right, and we're back in the action. Oh, what a catch! But a miss. Failed in the execution. That is so tough.
Those are the moments that it's super important to keep cool, continue being patient with the throws, especially when you're right up against the end zone. It's really easy to get a little too excited and to try and force throws that aren't as open. On the field.
Oh! Frisbee is not a contact sport, ladies and gentlemen. We got an instant replay, a full-scale mid-air collision.
That's one way to stop the momentum. Seems like everyone's okay. They're back in play, thank goodness.
Yeah, we're all good to go. All right, and we're back. Hillsdale's got to lock it down here close to the end zone. We've had a couple times where this has failed for them in the past.
Yeah, we'll see if MSU is patient, makes good throws. Getting a little dicey. And then look it in.
And another score.
Same score.
It looks like the MSU team is going to play a little bit better against our team. We'll see if they're able to keep that going throughout. They've learned how to deal with our defense well.
All right. I'm looking forward to another one of Gabe's pre-poll therapy sessions. I know that somebody stole his idea on the opposite line.
True, true. Okay, and they're almost ready to go.
That guy in the frisbee, I feel that. Man.
They're taking their sweet old time.
All right.
And
we have a poll. And we're off. All right. A nice pass upfield to retro jersey guy.
Hey, watch the
nice pass, but it works.
Keep the passing.
Looks like the team are stretching a little too deep without keeping people back to help them out. That's something that we have to work on. And it's so deep by Clark.
And another irresponsible.
The score.
That gets us to score 10-4 Hillsdale College Scholars, a.k.a. Nerds.
That should be honored, Tristan Lang, Nathan.
That was a wonderful pass. Greg is very fond of his deep flick. I'm sure he was happy to let that one loose. And I think that score was that this was caught by, who is it, Nick? It's kind of hard to tell from up here, but if it was Nick, great job to him.
Looks like Greg is wearing a mic. If only he could hear me.
Hopefully you'll be able to talk with him after the game. We'll post game recap.
All right, baby-o, Gabio.
He has the disc. He's ready to go.
He does. He's not even talking to his teammates worriedly. Oh, now he is. Good.
There he goes.
All is right with the world.
Let's go, Ryan!
Let's see it.
A solid pull. Is it in? Oh, very nice.
Oh, beautiful.
And they get going.
I think across the board, MSU has been a lot more patient in their disc movement this half.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've been learning from that in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jill.
We get to see they're still bobbling the disc a little bit. They're not making automatic catches. That's been, I think, hurting them. Oh, that might be a turn.
Happens. Hey, we go. Let's go. Tight D. Let's go. Boys is
Looks like we have a turnover
Boys is home.
with Hillsdale.
Other
The
side.
Hillsdale Nerds.
That was a good cut,
All
good
right.
swing.
Let's go.
Nice slide pass, nice handler pass.
All in.
Good disciplined disc movement.
All in. There it is.
What's he doing?
Go around.
Really important at this stage in the stall to get open on the sideline. And then there's Rob making his appearance as the tall guy.
Inside.
Oh, a good D by MSU.
No, Joe. I like it.
Someone printed deep, and it was covered well by Gabe. Time to reset, being more patient for this.
So does Hillsdale no longer run his own defense?
Say that again, Steven?
Does Hillsdale no longer run his own defense? Because I haven't seen much of it this game.
Yeah, so we still are learning how to do that. I think right now, since man has been working well for us, we're going to keep on doing that. I think we typically like to run zone, especially when there's wind, and so it's easier to pick a side to force, all of that. That's when zone really works best. But I think man has been working well for us, so we'll keep on working on that. And if MSU doesn't learn how to work well to defend that, they'll just keep on going. So I think that might be their plan right now.
That's interesting because when I was there, our zone defense was well nigh invincible. But given that you guys are fairly early on in the season, man might be easier to get up and running quicker.
It's true. It's definitely an easier concept to wrap your mind around, especially for the newer players. Zone can sometimes be hard to run because having the concept of guarding a space, not necessarily a person, it's a bit more challenging to do well. And so sometimes players can get distracted on latching onto somebody close by and then leaving open space, and the zone can really fall apart quickly across the field. So man can work really well, I think, for newer players. And that was a really great score by Hillsdale, that last point. Good job to them. They seem to work their way down the field pretty smoothly on that last drive. Made some good sharp movements. It looks like Jake Hamilton's on the field now. Showed up for the second half.
We're going to be received. They're going to be serious down here. Come on, let's go. Split the sideline.
All right. Jake Hamilton with the jawline of the century. Am I seeing things, or does he have a beard too?
What's that?
And I said, am I seeing things, or does Jake Hamilton have a beard too?
Oh, that's a good question. I think so. Maybe he does. I don't know.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, they had a long shot deep, didn't quite work out. That was a really great layout by that MSU player. Oh, and good defense. They get it knocked down 5 yards in front of the end zone. They're not able to.
Oh! He misses. The completion was sloppy. Why is he bunting?
He tried to make that sibling connection with Jake, but it didn't quite work out so well.
Tragic. Sometimes you get caught up in the moment and you make those really quick decisions, but not always the best. And the point for MSU.
That worked a lot better than they were able to really drive up the sideline and keep momentum going. A lot of their defenders were getting in front of our players, and they were taking advantage of that. Hopefully our players can learn from that and learn how to cover, especially drive up the sideline a little bit better, getting in between their defender and the disc.
You know, what struck me about that really fast drive back to the score is that while it was really well executed, it was risky. They were moving the disc so fast that I'm not I'm not sure that they had the control over the disc that
You
they
just
really
disconnected.
needed.
I couldn't hear what you said the last few seconds. Sorry. Yep.
That's a good point. I think, yeah, they were still showing their characteristics, getting the disc out of their hands a little too fast.
Got it.
It worked out for them. They were able to make good throws all the way down, but that's a good point. They still didn't maybe have the same, they didn't necessarily have a controlled feel to it, but they were able to make it work.
It's the same reason why I go on a crusade against irresponsible deep hammers, Craig. It's the same reason. It's high risk, high reward, but in a frisbee game, it's all about that short movement control for the most part, unless you have a really golden opportunity and you're confident in making that throw work. Oftentimes, though, the golden apple on the other end of the field is a lot harder to hit than you're expecting.
Make calls and players have to get to this again. So that's a really good point. I think that this game, especially when they're talking about the high-risk rewards, I'm really excited
that pass was incredible. It was a low release forehand. Laser.
That was a very
right
throw. That was cool to see. But yeah, going back to the high risk, high reward throws, I think right now we've been able to get away with that a little bit. I think against some other teams that might be better, have a little bit better coverage in the deep space, we quickly learned that we can't rely on that. But today, I guess we've been getting forcing those, and it has been working. So good for today. Hopefully, we don't get too caught up in that and rely on that a little too heavily, because it is very important to continue making those 5 to 10 yard throws between the people who are immediately surrounding you. That forces people to learn how to cut well, get in front of their defenders. So especially with those deep throws, I guess it's been denying some of our newer players an opportunity to learn how to do that. But it's always great to see the high risk, high reward throws working.
Oh, absolutely. And there's nothing necessarily against them, but as long as they are...
Oh, there you go.
As long as you've gone through your list of options to where high risk, high reward is actually your best chance of success. That's kind of my philosophy on it. And I do know, I guess, again, from my days on HCU, we oftentimes right out of the gate, and we lost a lot of points that way for that reason. While there were still lower risk gains on the table, we would go for that irresponsible hammer.
Yeah.
All right, we got an end zone play here. It's Uber and
make that score.
Nice, Jake.
Yeah, Jake has the disc right now. It seems like he's been orchestrating on the field. And we're in. Another score from Hillsdale Ultimate.
all right, Hillsdale, not being a failure. Let's go, boys and girls.
That was a really good score. I think we did a good job trying to remain patient, especially within the 5 to 10 yards from the end zone. That worked out really well for us. Very controlled playing.
Oh, absolutely. There was a lot of great discipline right there in those last few throws. People were not making moves that they could have just because they were there. They were instead waiting for a better opportunity. So good job to Hillsdale College Ultimate. I will not, in fact, have to start reading Aristotle's Ethics on air because I am...
Lance.
All right. Gabe DeBrosi again with his pre-pull anxiety attack.
Hey, Rob. Oh, no, it's Anders.
Some last
Where's Captain Cargo Shorts when you need him?
I know. He's patiently waiting on the sideline, ready to be put in.
Good. I need those cargo shorts of destiny back on the field. What? Was he trying to send that to the moon? What was with that pull? Why is
It
it?
gave him a lot of time to get down the field. That was helpful for sure, but he really said that was super was good. It just wasn't a great throw, a little too blatant, curving away from the defender, or from the offender. Feels so good.
A classic throw to nowhere. One of my favorites. In industry standard.
Nori, this side. Put him in the sideline, Nori.
Okay, time to set up again. We've got a lot of really experienced players in the field now. This will be really good to see how they move, hopefully showing the less experienced players how to get open for the people. See how they did. A lot of them deep. A missed play.
Frustrating. Now we have a game of ping pong.
MSU had the opportunity to take that home, but they missed it.
And we're back to small frisbee game here, which is good.
This side, Aikman, gotta go, Aikman,
Nice. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. An irresponsible hammer to nowhere.
Beans and Landon, switch. Beans and Landon, switch.
Go on too far. It's okay. Maybe it's not okay.
You know, aside from apparently the launch of the Hillsdale space program here, I am really impressed to see that throwing quality across the board is pretty uniformly great, which is really awesome to see, especially in a team that's been practicing together for a couple of weeks.
Stay with it. Well, that has been a huge improvement, something that I was really interested to see, because we had our tournament against BBSU a week or two ago. I wasn't able to make it to that tournament. I wasn't able to play. And it was like the ultimate great back to them. But yeah, I wasn't sure exactly how the team dynamic was going to look, how they were gonna move well together, how they were gonna get open. But I've been really pleasantly surprised to see how those newer players have been progressing so quickly.
Absolutely, and
it looks like that
obviously
might be
it's producing results. We got another point for
I
Hillsdale.
believe that last catch was from Anders, I think is his name. Great job to him.
Will that be game? Is that another dub for the virtuous free thinkers?
Yeah, that was a lot of ups and downs.
Game?
That first half.
Yeah, no kidding.
Really they executed well.
13.
And then it kind of was a little. They struggled a little bit, especially with putting some of their newer players in. I think this is a really great tournament or game for them to test out these players, put them on the field by themselves, get them used to not relying on cuts from the experienced players, trying to make that happen themselves. And I think that really contributed to them struggling in that second half. And MSU was able to come back a little faster, make some scores, and then we wrapped it up putting some more experienced players on and leaving the game out. So good job to Hillsdale, and good job to MSU as well. We're really grateful to have them come out. Playing home games is awesome for us.
I didn't think so, but all the fans are leaving.
Eva, it's I'm just getting this in from the production studio. Apparently, it's 1st to 15 is what they're showing on the screen, but I beg to differ, as this therapy session of Gabe's is going on longer than it would usually during points.
Sure.
So, yes, absolutely. Thanks to MSU for coming out and getting beaten by Hillsdale. I'd love to see it. Thanks to Hillsdale for not making me embarrassed with my alma mater. You know, despite all the time you guys spend reading, you guys apparently do know how to throw a frisbee somewhat, particularly straight up into the air with the last couple points.
1, 2, 3, Tigers! All right, hot, land, properly drag.
Oh, never mind. It might not be game quite yet. My bad.
Oh, that might have been. I remember. It's been a long time since I played Ultimate, so I'm forgetting if there's some kind of equivalent of a 2-minute
To be
warning.
fair, he said, get on Jake, follow him. Dude, this
Really, I think
Alright.
he's playing through that. I don't know what that
Did you come from
gathered
somewhere?
together
Or were
was
you here the whole
about,
time? I feel like I didn't
but
see
I guess we
you.
still have a few more points,
I'm in a
so
percussion ensemble.
always good to get more spirits.
Gotcha.
Minor. So that was from like 7 to 8.
Gotcha.
Looks like, though, it's shaping up to
The
be
music
a
is so
great
crazy, all
final
the
2
requirements.
points is since we got Captain Cargo Shorts out there on the field.
Making another
Captain
appearance.
Khakis.
Captain Khaki. I think it might be the secret to his success. You might have to try it out sometime.
But there's only one Captain Khakis. I'm going to have to find some other form of,
Your own trademark.
some other form of cringe field style. I'm watching the YouTube chat, getting a lot of hate from Clyde McFly. Clyde McFly, your hate is not appreciated. I do not, in fact, know what a timeout is.
My bad.
From Gabe Camp, this has been the most legendary podcast in history. We know, Gabe. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your love and support. Greatly appreciate it.
Ben Sis is apparently the heartthrob of the century. So, Ben, congratulations on becoming the next Elvis.
Oh, it's huge bid, a layout to try and get the D on that. Didn't quite work. Also trying to move
As I was
it
watching the
across.
chat, apparently the Hillsdale space program engaged back in action. So I'm sorry to see that, but there it is again. Apollo 18 straight to the moon.
I think something that I think Lance has a little room to grow. Literally and figuratively.
I see what you
trying
did
to
there.
work on his guys. He's in his junior year. Hopefully it's something he can continue working on and to improve his game. I think there have been a couple missed opportunities for him trying to sky. Oh, and quick score for MSU. I don't know who is supposed to be guarding him, but he was by himself in the end zone. I haven't seen that quite happen so far this game. I don't know what happened with that defense.
Apparently that was the one and only Ben Sis.
Oh, great job to Ben. Great job getting open.
But as we all know, that is not the last of Hillsdale's tricks up its sleeve.
Great point, great point.
I hope. Right, Greg and Gabe?
Looks like the MSU team has someone on their side trying to give them more pointers, trying to make the most out of this, these last couple points, whatever it turns out to be.
Jake Hamilton staying loose on the field, getting those dynamic stretches in. Gabe, you're running the wrong way. That's not your team.
And there's a hand. And there's the
There's a
pole.
pole. Oh, evidently taking notes on Hillsdale's space program, throwing it right into the ground.
A little deep.
Another deep, irresponsible hug. Oh, but he takes it! Catch your D's, ladies and gentlemen.
This is why you catch your D's. This has been the second or third time that's happened this game. Pro tip for the MSU
so
team:
tough.
catch your D's.
Absolutely. After the frisbee completed its gravity sling around Jupiter, it came down and was popped up by a defender right into a Hillsdale nerd's hands. So always catch your D's.
That has been something that the Hillsdale team has struggled with in the past. we have tried to learn and grow from that. So it has worked out well for us. So if we have anything to offer for MSU, we would do that.
All right, now that's got to be Rob, right? Big tall guy with the frisbee.
Yep, that is Rob. That is Rob. You would be correct.
All right. I am. Let's go. I love being correct. I'm all about being correct and getting those small wins. All right.
And a nice big pull. It might be out. They'll take it from the sideline.
We're going to pretend that was strategy. That was definitely intentionally thrown out to start it from the sideline.
Oh, yes, of course. You know, giving everyone time to set up, match up with their defender well, set a force, very strategic.
Get ready for Ben Sis. All right, good back pass. Just a good handler motion.
Working their way up. They've been making some good movement up the field. Let's see if they can continue making this work.
Hillsdale defense is lagging a little bit. They're going to have to want to anticipate those moves a little bit more. Otherwise, that's going to happen more often. Another point for MSU.
Another score.
Hillsdale's 1 point away from the victory here.
I think they can. Hopefully, they can get it within this next point. Once again, MSU, they had some good movement up the field. It still looked a little rushed. That was a bit of a risky throw, having it angled over the top like that. It worked out for them, but being a little bit more patient might aid them for the rest of the points.
It's true. Some more feedback from the Peanut Gallery in the chat. The complete lack of bias from these announcers is inspiring. Thank you very much. We are very proud of our complete neutrality here. It is just an objective fact that Hillsdale is just it's close to godliness. It's the most neutral observer could observe that.
It is
Once
being
again,
neutral,
thank you to Ethan.
My specialty.
Oh, yeah. And once again, thank you to Ethan and his donuts. Really appreciate Ethan and his donuts.
They did provide free donuts at the game today, so here's any MSU people in the chat.
I can tell you.
I bet you wish you could have been here.
I can tell you from experience that there is nothing better than a giant donut in the middle of an intense cardiovascular workout such as Ultimate Frisbee.
So true. So true. I think that might be the best that you could have. Okay, we're still making their way up the field. Over the top right there.
Some good patient disc movement here. Love to see it. And an irresponsible hammer. Let's go. All right, and that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, thank you to Ethan's Donuts for getting us the win there.
We're so grateful for their contribution to this game, really powering us through.
Yep. And what a bitter twist of fate and irony. Yeah, you're not mistaken. I was just about to say what a bitter twist of fate and irony that the game should be won on one of my all-time least favorite plays, the classic irresponsible hammer.
I think you're going to have a talking to with the leadership on the Hillsdale team.
I already have talking to planned with Babio Gabio and Grego Moreno discussing the first half of the second half, and also what is going on with the beard, man? What is going on?
So, Stephen, what were some of your takeaways from the game? What did you see on either team that could be improved? What did you like seeing from either side? What are your thoughts?
The thing that struck me the most on Hillsdale's side was that usually whenever they got their hands on the disc, they would play the first 4 to 5 throws really, really well. But after that, they had a tendency to drop into a long huck or a risky play. or movement would get a little sloppier. But in the end, I think the fact that they were consistent on those first 4 to 5 throws really won them the game. They really tried to keep things contained as long as they could. While I think there could have been probably a little bit more discipline before breaking out into long hucks, I think in the end there was enough discipline to carry the game. On the MSU side, the first half was largely characterized by a lot of really hasty disc movement, which I think is why they were down 8-0 in the first half. But I think they realized that and really drilled that down in the second half. And you saw a lot more close handler movements. You got a lot of short passes. You saw a lot of very focused plays that ended up getting them 8 points.
Do you have the lens cap? Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, that was really good to see. It's very impressive always to see a team that learns how to adapt and continue changing and working together as a team throughout a game. That's always really hard to do, and especially as you're saying, when the differences between practice and in a game, especially playing new teams, learning how they work, trying to adapt to that. I think they did a good job trying to finish that out well, getting some good scores in the second half. So good job to MSU.
Absolutely. And for the production team's information, I do not, in fact, have the lens cap. I don't know where the lens cap is. And once again, a nice shout out to Ben Sis. He really provided a lot of entertainment in the chat and apparently a lot of valuable contributions in the game. So great job, Ben Sis.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone who tuned in, was interacting in the chat throughout the game. We really appreciate you guys coming in and watching.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have an extremely wonderfully adequate evening.
So good to see you, Steven. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
So good to see you as well, Eva. Have a lovely evening.